The bottom line is the movie went through a lot of adjustments. The original script is not the script that they ended up with. My character itself, I don't know if it got repurposed or if it just got scrapped and a whole new thing went in there. Yeah, man, they cut me.
All right, we are here on Not Just Football, and we are joined by one of my great friends. What can't I say about you? You've
I don't know. What can't you say?
Hosted honors, Penn State alum.
Penn State alum.
Detroit Lions fan.
Yep.
You've done everything. And we're just thankful enough to be talking to you.
Cam, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy. Anytime you want me to do this, I'll come to the house and do it. I'll sit with the kids.
No,
you can interview.
You will not sit with my kids.
L, and
Stop.
I will
You
sit
will
with the
not
kids.
sit with my
And
kids.
Allie can go get a
Do not.
Manny Petty, and I'll don't do it. Hayden says don't do it.
As long as I get Petty.
Oh shit! She just got it on tape.
Don't you do it.
Someone
Don't
just got
you
it on
do
tape.
They will take that. They'll disappear.
They'll-
You'll never see them again.
never see
They
them
will be
again.
gone. They'll be in Ohio or something like that. They'll be gone. You are never. Don't do that.
First
Bad
of all,
idea.
let's get started.
Yes.
All right, tell us what we got here.
All right. This is the Jim Beam Black 7 Stages of Defeat care package.
Oh, I need
now,
one of
here's
those.
what's the coolest thing. You need one of these?
I need one of
Everybody
those.
needs. Trust me, everybody wants one of these. Jim Beam came up with this great campaign, and I partnered with Jim Beam to do this campaign.
Yes.
So after every round of the playoffs, anybody whose team has lost can go online to Jim Beam and request what it's first come first serve, but you can
Okay.
request one of these packages.
Ooh.
And what happens is it allows you to help navigate the 7 stages of defeat. It's very much like, the 5 stages of depression.
Yes,
So and in the box, I'm going to open the box for you guys. It's really
Yes.
fun. In the box there's different seats. You have the different little tabs.
Oh.
There's different stages. So like stage 1 is shock. And so it's a little message that just lets you know, yes, your team did in fact lose. We're going to help you through the shock. And then 2 is denial. 3 is anger. Anger is hilarious. Anger has this little football. Your kids would love this. It's a
Yes.
little hollow chocolate football and a mallet.
I
So you
love
use
that.
the mallet to crush the football to get your
Yes.
anger out. Stage 4 is bargaining. There's a little bobblehead referee in here.
Oh, wow.
So you can yell at the referee about the horrible call that he made that just changed the outcome of the game, and now my
Yep.
team's going home. And then, so each stage, each of the 7 stages, it corresponds to the gift that's behind one of these little doors.
Wow.
It's really terrific. And
Wow.
it's been a real huge success. And so I have like 8 of these.
Yeah.
Because of my Lions. So literally after the divisional finals were done, you could go online the next day on Monday, and and there's one more round of this. So either people from Philly or people from Kansas City have an opportunity to get one of these care packages after the big game.
I like that. Allie would probably say I'm in bargaining right now.
Are you in bargaining right now?
I'm in bargaining. I just got out of anger. It was rough.
It
was rough.
It's tough. Bargaining to me sometimes is almost sadder than the anger.
Yeah.
You feel it's false power, but at least you feel a little bit of kind of power when you can be angry. And when you're bargaining, then it feels so vulnerable.
Yes,
But like,
yes.
but why would you? I can't. But why did you call the? Why did you manage the clock? It's lots of. Why would you call a timeout? There, all of that kind of stuff. Don't do it. Don't do that. But it's really great. We've been having a lot of fun with it. Yeah.
I want to bring up our relationship.
Relationship.
We met at Pro Bowl one year. I don't know what made me do it. I came up to you. I was like, "Can I get a picture?" And I felt so awkward. And then we met Elle, your amazing wife. She's got family in Pittsburgh as well. But I just have to say, you were so kind in that moment.
Listen, I was so happy to meet you, and I also was working on myself. And what I mean by that, Hayden, is that I'm from Michigan.
Okay.
And I grew up a Michigan Wolverines fan.
No, oh my God.
And
We don't even talk about that.
And I was working on myself. I saw this lovely couple, and I was going to be open. I'm going to open my heart. I'm just going to see them as humans.
Oh,
Doesn't
thanks.
matter where they went to
Thank
school. I'm
you.
going to see them as lovely, wonderful people, good parents,
Right.
helpful members of their community, and I was working on letting everything else go, and we've had a wonderful relationship ever since.
We've had a wonderful relationship.
And I appreciate. See what happened? You came up and you took the chance. You were
I did.
vulnerable, and
I
then
don't
think
we've
he
had
knew
a-
that,
took the
though.
chance on me.
But he
He
didn't know
did
you
not
were
know I was from Michigan,
He did
and
not know.
I
No.
had conveniently forgotten that he went to the Ohio State University. So we've had a wonderful relationship.
I came to your birthday party too. That was the weirdest thing. He invited me. They invited me to their birthdays. They have
Yeah.
like almost identical birthdays.
Yeah.
And this was in New York, and me and my wife were like, yeah, let's just go. I brought a Pittsburgh basket. I didn't know how this was going to be received.
A Pittsburgh basket.
Yes.
What does that consist of exactly?
I put jerseys in there. I put everything that everybody loves about Pittsburgh. And I was like, you got to come to Pittsburgh. You got to see.
It was a really sweet. It was very thoughtful. And I introduced you to Annie Parise.
You introduced me to a lot of people I was not ready for.
And I remember, because my friend Annie, who's an actor who you've seen many times, like you've seen Annie a lot. She has family from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Yeah.
And she was actually in the Joe Paterno movie where Al Pacino played Joe Paterno.
Yeah.
Okay.
And she and so it was nice. You guys had a really nice conversation because she was from Pittsburgh and I was so happy that you guys came to that party.
I was not ready for that because there's like Michael J. Fox. There's like Kevin
Isaiah
Nealon.
Thomas was there.
Isaiah Thomas.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm just like, I don't belong here. I feel uncomfortable.
You 100% belong, and that's all Elle. That's my wife. She's a connector. She brings all
No,
different
that's
people.
you too because you were singing that night. You enjoyed yourself.
I did.
Yes, it was
we
a
had
special
a good
night.
time. I know we had the band there. Yeah, what I'm trying to say is we throw kick-ass parties.
Yes.
I would say it's very rare he's like starstruck or anything like that. It sounds like you were.
I felt out of pocket. I shouldn't have been there.
With your Pittsburgh basket.
Yeah. Everybody's bringing like wine, and I'm bringing like a Pittsburgh basket.
Oh my God.
They're like, oh, thank you.
No, we had a great time. We were so happy that you guys came.
Yeah.
It just we love them so much. We just love them
They
so
are
much.
great people.
They're great people.
And then fast forward to last year, I won Walter Payton Man of the Year. He's hosting.
Yes.
It was crazy how that happened.
That was like, it was equally shocking for everyone, including you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Because
no idea.
if you watch the honors,
I was there.
You know Hayden, how crazy it is because they talk about it, then they just start the video,
Yeah.
and you don't know who it is. And I think I know I'm interviewing.
Go for it.
What were the speaking of stages of something? What was that? What was happening for you, Cam, as that was coming up?
I was in shock. I was right at shock.
Yeah.
Because like the whole time I'm like, it's not happening.
Yeah.
They would have told me.
Yeah.
I would have had something on the teleprompter. Did not happen.
Wow.
And so I get up there and I'm like, oh, Prince Harry's up there. And then
That did make it better.
Yes.
I actually think it was better you didn't have your speech there.
It was because every
So
moment of it was so authentic and so genuine. I remember you standing there and you just went, "It's Prince freaking Harry."
The crowd went nuts. When he said
It was
started
so
cracking.
good.
It was great.
It was so good. It was so genuine. Yeah.
But then after, we're taking these amazing pictures. They're like should be in portraits. It's him, his wife, my wife, me, Prince Harry. I'm like, what life are we living?
I know. What life are we living? I know.
Oh.
I know. It was really amazing. I just remembered how pure the whole exchange was.
Yeah.
And you getting up there and it was wonderful. The whole thing was
I
wonderful.
think too with you hosting it was perfect too.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
guys
because
are
we're good friends, yeah.
clearly very close, and I think I think that made it great too.
Because I was standing backstage and I ran to find. I was like, "Holy shit, Cam just won!"
You didn't
Cam
know
won."
either?
No,
They
did
didn't
not
tell
know. They
anybody.
don't tell anyone. They don't. Every year, that's part of their deal. They don't tell anyone. Everybody kind of has to prepare something or nothing. You just don't. There's 32 guys. You're going, okay, I have a 1 in 32 chance of winning this thing. Everybody's doing wonderful philanthropic work.
Exactly.
You never know who it's going to be. It was really a great moment.
That was special. Okay, let's talk Penn State. How did you go from Michigan to Penn State?
So I went to a little small Catholic college in the city of Detroit. I went to a little Catholic school called University of Detroit. And when I graduated from undergrad, I really enjoyed school. So I wanted to go to more school for theater. And I can't tell you exactly the moment that made me pick Penn State. I was interviewing with a lot of schools, but there was something just about the people in the room who were interviewing me, and I wanted to have a collegiate experience. And my parents' best friends when I grew up were from Pittsburgh. So
You wanted to be part of a cult.
I wanted to be part of a cult. I wanted to be part of a really big, organized cult that has the largest alumni association in the world.
Nice flex there. That was
Very
very
good.
nice. Very nice.
Well, that's the thing, how much I love him, that I'm from Michigan, and I went to Penn State, and he's been beating up on me. His alma mater's been beating up me my whole life.
I know.
But here's the thing. I wanted to have like a collegiate I went to a little city college. I wanted to have like a collegiate experience. And because my parents' best friends, I grew up Franco Harris, Rosie Greer, Lydell Mitchell. When a little kid, I knew about these people because of my dad's best friend Tom, was a Penn State fan, and so that was the link that I had. And so I of all the schools, I picked it because of football. I picked the school out of football, but I got a really great training there, really good education there, and that's how I ended up picking Penn State.
How did you feel about the college playoff?
Oh, the 7 stages of grief. It's right here.
Oh my
Right
God!
here.
I went through the 7 stages of the grief twice. I had to do it
Oh,
twice this year.
man.
I really enjoyed Drew Aller. I think he's a good quarterback. It was just like 4 inches. He needed to put that ball 4 inches in front of the receiver. I thought, all right, we're going to go in here.
Win the
It's
game.
going to be I thought, even if we don't win, fine.
jump
Overtime, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Yeah.
And I've seen James pull those games out before.
Mm-hmm.
We had one earlier this season. We had a kind of a close game with Wisconsin. I was like, we can do this. These guys can do this. So I was just heartbroken. After the 2 wins, too, because I felt like maybe we're getting the monkey off our back.
are.
And I thought,
Yeah.
and there was no reason we could beat Notre Dame. That we could have won that
Oh,
game.
I think you guys were the better team.
100%.
I
thought
do
we
think
were
you're
the
the better team. I do.
I'm excited. Quite honestly, I'm excited about next year because we get Singleton and we get Katron Allen back.
Yeah.
And Drew
back, yeah.
And apparently, one of the reasons I heard, one of the reasons Pribula left, this mobile quarterback that we had, he was our change of pace guy with Drew Aller.
Yeah.
He left because the kid behind him, James Franklin's really, really high on.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So we have this kid. I think he's gonna be a sophomore.
Okay.
And so I'm feeling good about him too. If they want to get him reps, when Drew leaves, we'll have him. But we've got Kobe, we've got Zane Durant, we've got a bunch of guys back on defense.
Yeah.
I think we might be able to make another deep run.
How involved in the NIL are you? You seem very into this program.
I-
Are they hitting you up to help?
I was
recruit
already-
kids? I mean,
It's-
geez.
You
know,
got to
it's-
be up there.
It's funny when I go to games though. Some of the old rules still apply. When I go to games, they'll whisk me past the recruits.
Really?
I'm not allowed.
What?
There would have to be there would have to be a business deal that takes place.
Oh.
If that's not in place, I am not allowed to talk to the recruits.
That's
You can
So-
give that to him.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah,
Oh my God! So many kinds of trouble. Here, young man, drink underage.
Yeah.
Do not drink underage. Do not drink
don't-
underage.
Please don't.
Yes,
Do
please
not
don't.
drink
Don't.
underage.
You're not promoting that.
We're
No.
not promoting that in any way, shape, or form. My representative's over there. She's like,
Yes, we're good.
No,
Thank you so much, Keegan.
guys, this is wonderful. And again, Cam, anytime
Okay.
I'll come to Pittsburgh. I said it. You heard me say it. I'll take care of the kids.
You're not
Be
taking care of the
careful.
kids. I will not
Be
put
careful.
you through that.
Be careful.
I will not
I
do
just
that.
spent the week with
Be
the kids in
careful how I said
Orlando.
it.
Be careful what
And they
you
were
wish.
there. And they were there.
Yes.
I'm saying, yeah, she can handle it. Elle can handle it.
Oh, wow.
Wow, way to put it
We
Hold
can
on.
handle it.
Okay.
I mean, we can handle it, right, Elle? I said we.
Yeah.
We.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much,
I
Keegan,
love you,
for
buddy.
coming on.
Hayden, good to see
It's
you,
great
man.
to see you, man. Thanks for coming on with us, man.
My
Thank you so
pleasure.
much.
All right. Welcome back to Not Just Football, and we are joined today by the great Seth Rollins. How you feeling, buddy?
Great. I like that. I appreciate that. I'm feeling good, man. How you guys doing?
We're good.
Great, man.
We got to talk about you, though, man.
What do you want to talk about?
Why are you hurting Roman Reigns like that?
You got a little crazy at the Rumble. Emotions be running high. You know how it is, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. It would never be high.
You out there? Yeah, never, right? Never. Someone gets underneath your face
Yeah.
mask a little bit. You get a little grumpy. Something.
Right.
You lash out. Maybe you get a flag. Oh well, you move on. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we're at right now. Roman got a little feisty in the Rumble and had to stomp his head into the ground. So that's how it's gonna be.
All right, you were part of one of the greatest matches last year in WrestleMania. And I can't say you were part of it, but you made your way into it.
Yes, you talking about the main event,
Yes.
night 2? Yeah.
Yes, night 2. It was Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and everybody came in. The Rock, you, The Undertaker,
Yep.
John Cena. What were your feelings on that match?
I loved it. I thought it was beautiful. I
Yes.
thought Cody and Roman had a really good match the year before. Obviously not the ending that the entire world wanted. We got the rematch the following year, and I thought it was wonderful. It was really a culmination of an era. You saw the end of one era and the beginning of the next era, and it's very rare that you get to see those moments happen in real time. And when you look back at kind of like the before and after of WWE, WrestleMania 40, that main event, being able to play a small role in it was a huge privilege. And to see what the future is going to look like for our company, like I said, you very rarely get to experience those moments in real time. But that's what it was. It was a shift, a paradigm shift, and now we're off to the future.
Small role, I call bullshit. First of all, Roman Reigns had a decision.
He did.
Either use the chair on you or Cody Rhodes. He chose you. That speaks a lot to you.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being that pivotal in that?
I knew what it would mean to him to see me there in that gear, in that moment. And some things are bigger than championships, you know.
Yeah.
And a brotherhood and a scar that goes back, you know, some time now. That's really going to be the crux of what that generation, what this generation, our generation in WWE looks like. That moment with the Shield when we broke up, that still affects him to this day. So, like I said, some things are bigger than championships, and the relationship between myself and Roman, whatever it was, whatever it is, whatever it will be, it will define this era of professional wrestling.
All right, some things are bigger than championships. Now we got to talk about the Chicago Bears.
Let's go. Speaking of championships,
Well, we had him last year. He was super excited about Caleb Williams.
Yeah, you were ready to get Justin Fields out of there.
How are we feeling now? A tough year, but things are going to look up.
So last year we had a lot of conversation around the Bears and what they were going to do. I felt like you keep Justin Fields if you're going to keep Matt Eberflus. They kept Eberflus. They shopped Fields.
Thank you.
Yes. He's a baller.
Yes.
You know, I hope that he stays in Pittsburgh. I do. I hope so. He's an awesome cat. I said, if you're going to move on, you got to move on. They didn't. They went halvesies, and you saw what happened. You saw what happened. It's a recipe for disaster. It never works that way. It never works. A rookie quarterback and a guy, kind of a lame duck coach. And so you saw it. It was a disaster in the middle of the season. You lose a head coach. You lose an OC. You promote your quarterback's coach to OC, and it was chaos. I thought for rookie season, Caleb Williams did really good with everything that was on his plate as a rookie. I mean, you don't want that as a rookie, man.
Not at all.
You want stability. You want to come in to a smooth operation so you can learn and grow, and you have to deal with all this extra chaos around you in the locker room. That's got to be, I mean, I'm not a guy that lives in locker rooms like that, but I can't imagine what that's like. That's got to be, you know, you were Tomlin.
Nuts.
It's the exact opposite, right?
Yeah.
No matter what happens, you've got that voice of reason. You've got that cool-headedness at the top. You know what you're in store. I mean, I can't imagine what that would be like.
Man, I don't know how they deal with it. That Hail Mary, though.
Yeah.
That was the end.
Give me the
That-
reaction. What's the reaction?
Yes. What were you thinking
Yeah.
in that moment?
Well, I was at that game.
Oh.
I was at that game in Washington. I have family there. It was a short drive. My wife and I were in New Jersey. She was filming for Happy Gilmore. So I was like, let's just go down to D.C., a quick shot down there. I'll watch the game.
Yeah.
Watch the game. Now, mind you, the Bears are on a 3-game winning streak going into this game. They're 4-2. They got a bye week after this Washington game. Washington's kind of like the darlings of the season.
Yeah.
This game was a slog, because the Bears defense early in the season was very good.
Yes.
Very good, and especially keeping guys out of the end zone. You let some big plays happen, but people weren't scoring points on Chicago early in the season. So we were holding Jaden Daniels to field goals. They were just kicking field goals first half. Bears couldn't move the ball. Classic. Couldn't do nothing. But then the second half, everything turns around. I'm in Washington. I'm up in the box. I'm going ham. I'm freaking out. Caleb takes the team down, not once, but twice to take the lead. We're looking good. Everything's great. You got them locked up at the 50-yard line. You know, you play the prevent defense. You know, you say what you will, but I thought played okay. Obviously, Tyreek's going ham on the sideline, not paying attention.
Were you celebrating with Tyreek when he was doing that?
No, because I didn't see him. And my uncle did. My uncle was there. I was just, I'm tight, man. I'm like, come on. My uncle saw him walking. My uncle's like, hey, what's that guy doing? 29. What's he doing? And I'm like, what are you talking? Next thing I know, ball is in the air. And it was, dude, unreal. Boink, right into the brother's hands. I collapsed to the ground. I fell to the ground. I wasn't even mad at the moment because it was so. I've never seen a Hail Mary in person. It's an insane thing, and it was a clean one. You know, sometimes it's a mess. Everybody's grabbing for it. It was the cleanest Hail Mary I've ever seen. Boink, right into his hands. No doubt about it. I collapsed to the ground. The Bears collapsed for the rest of the season. That was it. It was done. Bye week, we come back, we lose to New England, lose to Arizona, and then it's Minnesota, Green Bay, Detroit, all winnable games. Get the blocked field goal against Detroit.
Oh, we have to talk about the
blocked
Detroit
field. Then the Detroit game.
Oh, the Detroit game.
That was the end of the season for me, right there.
I felt bad for y'all because,
Bro.
You guys were orchestrating a great drive.
Yes.
And just the mismanagement of time
was
crazy.
Whose responsibility is that?
it has to fall on the quarterback somewhat, but the coach has got to be in control of that because you got to get to the line of scrimmage fast. You just took a sack.
Yep.
And then you want to get back to the line of scrimmage. Even if you have to just, throw it into the ground, you got time. I don't get the point in trying to throw a Hail Mary.
Coach has a timeout in his pocket.
Yes.
Put that on the rookie quarterback. You got to call the timeout.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah. He's a rookie quarterback. It's not Tom Brady back there. You've got to call the timeout if you're the coach. That is on the coach.
That's what I felt. I felt the same way. I'm like, because as a quarterback, rookie quarterback, there's got to be a conversation that he has the authority to call these timeouts in those situations. Otherwise, if you're a head coach, it's your job to. You see the clock. You see everything that's going on. You've got people in your ear like you know what I mean? You got to make that call. And as I watched it develop, I kind of saw what they were trying to do as far as like holding the timeout to get, so you could get a couple extra yards and get the field goal range. But then as the clock started to tick down, I'm like, bro, once you lose 15 seconds, you got to go. You just got to call it. Yeah. And they didn't. I couldn't believe it. I was in a hotel room because it was Thanksgiving Day. I was in a hotel room watching by myself, and I'm just throwing like food everywhere, and I'm throwing the pillow. I mean, I was just losing it, man. I still didn't think they were going to fire him. I still thought they were going to keep him through the whole season. Chicago's never fired a head coach mid-season.
I know, but that was like
that's a fireable offense.
That was that broke everybody's heart.
It broke. I was done at that point. I was done with the season at that point. I mean, it was bad, man. It was bad.
Well, you were clearly locked in on the Bears.
Yeah.
Where are we going in the draft?
I think the trenches. I do think it's going to be a D-line or an O-line situation. Now, do I think the Bears' offensive line is as bad as people thought it was this year? No, I think the system was kind of not great, and I think the coaching was not great, and I think you saw just a lot of bad protection schemes. And Caleb's a rookie; he holds the ball a little longer than he needs to. He'll learn that. So I'd go D-line. I think if you can find an edge rusher around there, like 10, I think, at the draft. If you can find somebody in the interior or an edge that you think is going to be a game changer, that's where I would lean. I know, like, there's, like, Ashton Genty, there's, like, that sexy pick there for running back. But, like, I think we lean to the trenches because I think that was where the Bears got beat up really bad this year. Andrew Billings was the nose tackle for the Bears. When he got hurt, everything went south for that defense. They were really bad. And I think the trenches, as a guy who lives down there, you understand how important that is.
Yes,
that's where games are won or lost a lot of times, especially, if you can't move the other.
Dude's a scout.
I was going to say, it's like
they're a very underappreciated part of the game.
His career after wrestling, if you want to, dude, NFL Network should come call it.
I'm trying, man.
Locked in,
I'm trying. But the trenches, they're very underappreciated by the media. But, dude, I mean, when you watch, the Eagles team's a perfect example of that, dude. They, on offense, they push people around up front with Lane Johnson and that crew, dude. They just body guys, and Hurts has got the time. Saquon's got the space. I mean, obviously it's schemed well, but dude, those guys communicate so well up front. They're just big beasts, and then
they lean on you.
Yeah, and at the same time, if your boys on the other side can get pressure on the quarterback, if it was with four guys, even if you just get the idea of pressure, it changes the whole dynamic of what the rest of the defense is able to do. So I look to the trenches in the draft. We got a lot of cap space as well, so hopefully if there's somebody out there free agent wise or a trade that can be made. Myles Garrett's trying to get out of Myles Garrett's trying to get out of the AFC North up there. So I'm like, we take him, dude. We got a history of that with Khalil Mack, Julius Peppers coming to Chicago. Myles, I'm just saying, dog.
Myles Garrett, he made a request.
Making a pitch.
You want to come over? We got Sweat on one side, we got Garrett on the other side. I don't hate it, man. I don't hate it. I know you'd love him out of the North and the AFC.
I'm fine with that. Not going to hurt me. Shoot. All right, we've talked about football, and we asked a lot of football players about their welcome to the NFL moment. Is there a welcome to the WWE moment for you?
Yes. My first big welcome to WWE moment, I think, was the first time I was in the ring with The Undertaker. So it was actually a year after I got there. I had a WrestleMania under my belt, so you could say that. But, like, the first time I was in the ring with The Undertaker, it was a Monday Night Raw in London. I want to say it was, like, in April of 2013. And maybe May, something like that. But I had a tag match with The Undertaker. And there was this moment in this match where I did something to the guy I was in the ring with, and I turned to the corner where Undertaker was at. It was a tag match, so he's standing on the outside of the ring. And, I just started taunting the corner like I do. I was, a young upstart bad guy at the time. And he gave me this look, right? But, dude, it shook me to my core. Because sometimes when you work with younger guys or people with less experience, they don't know how much they can get out of just a look.
Yeah.
Just a look. And some of them can't get anything out of a look because they don't have the equity of The Undertaker. But Taker knew. All he had to do was just give me, he just gave me these eyes and this look. And I was like, oh, my God. And when I saw it back on TV, it had all the impact that it did live.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's what it means to be a WWE superstar. You change the game with a look, with 3 seconds of your eyes to who you're in the ring with or to the camera, and it changes the game. And I was like, oh, I see. It's not just about what you're doing in here. It's the scope of everything. So that was one where I was like, oh, I get it now.
Dude,
I get it.
awesome.
Welcome to the big show,
That
baby.
is amazing. That is.
All right, there's been rumors for WrestleMania.
Okay.
Triple threat, you, CM Punk, and Roman Reigns.
All right.
You like that?
Hey, man, that means I get to kick both their asses at the same time. My two most bitter rivals, please, on the grandest stage of them all.
Ooh.
That screams fantastic to me. Now, obviously, you mentioned me stomping Roman's head at the
Yes.
Rumble. We don't know where his WrestleMania status is going to be. I don't know when he's going to come back. He's on a limited schedule as it is, so we'll see what kind of deal he wants to work out. CM Punk's got to make it to WrestleMania this year.
Oh.
Last year he didn't. Last year he didn't make it to WrestleMania. Fragile Phil got hurt. Didn't make it to WrestleMania. So, this year we'll see if he can get there. I am healthy and prime. I am there every single week. I'm the only 100% guarantee of the three of us for WrestleMania. But if you said to me today, would you like to fight those guys at WrestleMania? I would say, please, bring it on. But we got a long way to go. We got Elimination Chamber coming up.
You ready for that?
Chamber?
Yes.
Yeah, kind of, man. Chamber hurts, dude. It hurts. There's just nothing fun about that match. It's steel. There's 5 other guys in there. Plexiglass.
Oh.
It's a lot of danger. You're, if you get up on these pods, you're like 10 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Your head's 6 feet, so you're like 16 feet. You're looking down. It's a lot. It's a lot of chaos, but it should be fun. We're in Sky Dome in Toronto this year, Rogers Center, I think it's called. So big stadium, should be a blast, and it's star-studded. Cena's already in there. It's going to be his last Elimination Chamber.
Are you ready for this Cena tour, and how do you feel about it?
I love John, so I'm really excited to see what the last year is going to be like for him. He had his last Royal Rumble, which was fun. He's back in Budapest now, shooting his movie. He's coming back for the Elimination Chamber. He'll be there for WrestleMania. I'm excited to see what he does and how he takes this. And, he did a presser after the Royal Rumble where he basically just said, I'm in the chamber and I want a main event WrestleMania. And that's what's the best thing for our business, which is kind of a departure for John. John's very like, I'll do what's best, whatever's the best. And he was like a little self-motivated here in a way that I hadn't seen him in a long time. So I'll be curious to see what it's going to look like for him this next year. But yeah, man, he's a legend. He's a Hall of Famer, one of the greatest to ever do it. And I think one of the unsung things about John is he kept the business afloat when there wasn't a lot else going on. John started in 02, 03 or something like that, and business wasn't good in the late kind of 2000s into 2010. Like it was not good, and he was the guy that was at the top. And sometimes when you look at those things, you say, oh, this guy was on top when business was bad. That's hard to do because you got to carry that thing, you know what I mean? When wrestling is not popular, because it comes and goes. And so John is one of the greatest to ever do it. He's a guy whose longevity may not ever be replicated. And I'm so happy to see that he's also found success and happiness outside of our industry, and to be able to come back and help us out and do one final run. I'm very proud of him, and I'm excited to see what the last one looks like.
I'm a little pissed off.
Why's that?
We talk about John doing stuff outside of WWE. I'm pissed off at Disney and Marvel because, sir, you were supposed to be in Captain America.
I was.
And it got cut.
Yeah, man.
Bro, how was that experience And how are you dealing with everything?
You know, I wasn't going to talk about it too much because I never know what I can say. But I saw the director had an interview this week, Julius Ona, who's a phenomenal dude. He did an interview, and they asked him about my role and what happened with it and stuff like that. So I feel like I can talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah.
You know, basically I got repurposed for Giancarlo Esposito, who is a hell of an actor.
Yeah, pretty good.
Gus Fring from the Breaking Bad.
Yes.
I know he is.
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, special cat. And so to lose out to him doesn't hurt my feelings. The bottom line is the movie went through a lot of adjustments. The original script is not the script that they ended up with. My character itself, I don't know if it got repurposed or if it just got scrapped and a whole new thing went in there. But I had a great time filming with those guys. We did some really cool stuff that's on the cutting room floor. I hope that somehow it lives in Easter egg form somewhere.
Ooh.
I'd love to see some of the shots of that. I won't give away too much, but it was a great experience. But yeah, man, they cut me. They cut me from the role.
Bro,
you know what? They've cut the family. My wife had a role in Eternals. She did a post-credit scene for the original Eternals film. They were, you know, the Eternals franchise was intended to be multiple films, and she was supposed to be involved in that, and they cut her too. They cut the whole family, man. What are these
Wow,
people
somebody's got
doing?
beef.
Well, you said she was doing Happy Gilmore too.
She did Happy Gilmore 2 as well.
Okay.
Oh,
so
that's sweet.
she's in that sucker.
Okay.
That's going to be great. That comes out later, I think later this year, and that's cool, man. As a kid who grew up,
Oh,
Yes.
same here, man.
right,
Yeah.
loving
Yes.
Happy
Love
Gilmore.
Adam Sandler movies.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. So I got to go to set one day and kind of see like Sandler in the Happy Gilmore garb and like, you know, with the Timberlands and the Boston jersey
shirt with
on.
the
yeah.
pajama pants on.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Same thing. It's
100%.
very, very cool to see. So I'm excited to see the response to that. And she's been working, hustling. She's been doing a lot of stuff.
How do you feel about this new Netflix, joint
Love it,
partnership?
man. Love it. It's huge. I mean, look, people are cutting cables. Cable TV's going, whether it's YouTube TV, Netflix, Prime. I mean, streaming is where television is heading, and I'm really excited that we're kind of on the forefront. WWE sort of always has been. I mean, we started our own network, 13, 14 years ago, before it was like cool to have your own network, and then we sold our network before everybody started consolidating, so we're really ahead of the trend on these types of things. And so to be sort of at the forefront of what live sports is going to look like on a streaming network, and with Netflix, which is the biggest streamer in the world and continues to kind of hold the most market share, it's huge for us, and it's an awesome investment from as mainstream as you get global platform like Netflix to say, these guys, WWE, and this product is something we believe in. We're going to shoot for the moon with them. So it's been really awesome so far. The first event, January 6th, was incredible in Los Angeles. And now, it's week by week, and it's like, business as usual. But it's really exciting to be a part of them and to have a partner like them be as invested as we are in them. It's awesome. I think globally what you're going to see from us in the next few years is going to be pretty big. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the future holds.
Last question, we'll get you out of here. What's your guilty pleasure?
Oh, man. Guilty pleasure. Shoo. I'm not a Vice guy, but you know what I spend
or a movie,
more...
TV show,
yeah,
music?
So you know what I spend more time doing than I should, actually, since we're here talking about football? It's playing Madden.
Really?
Yeah. When I have downtime on the road, I'll pop Madden on and just go to town.
Are you a franchise guy, or are you just...
So I really like the superstar mode.
Oh.
I just like to be a quarterback and just sit back and ride, because you don't have to it's quicker. It's a little bit faster. You can get through a game a little bit quicker, and you don't have to worry about the glitch or the if you're playing somebody online who's just hacks all the plays and knows all the secret ones. You don't have to worry about that. So I kind of like my own space with it. I like just being a superstar, making Seth Rollins out there, and then trying to break all Tom Brady's records. You know what I mean? I like that. So that's my game. I play that way too much, probably.
Seth Rollins versus Patrick Mahomes at the Super Bowl in his dynasty all the time is what I'm getting at that.
I believe that. All right, I got to say thank you to Seth Rollins for coming on. We can't wait to see what you got in store for the future. Bigger fans now after this interview, but thank you so much for coming on.
Love you guys, man. Thanks for having me. Anytime.